items during the show. At this time, we ask you to please silence all cellular devices, as there is no photography, videography, or texting allowed during the performance. Thank you and enjoy the show. And now, please welcome Woody Regan.
Why worry when skies are gray? Why should we complain? Let's laugh at the cloudy day. Let's sing in the rain. Songwriters say the storm quickly passes. That's their philosophy. They see the world through rose-colored glasses. Why shouldn't we? Just around the corner, there's a rainbow in the sky. So let's have another cup of coffee, and let's have another piece of pie. Trouble's just a bubble, and the clouds will soon roll by. So let's have another cup of coffee, and let's have another piece of pie. Let a smile be your umbrella, for it's just an April shower. Even John D. Rockefeller is looking for the silver lining. Mr. Herbert Hoover says that now's the time to buy. So let's have another cup of coffee, and let's have another piece of pie. People are queer, they're always crowing, scrambling and rushing about. Why don't they stop someday, address themselves this way? Why are we here? Where are we going? It's time that we found out. We're not here to stay. We're on a short holiday. Life is just a bowl of cherries. Don't be so serious. Life's too mysterious. You say you worry so, but you can't take your dough when you go, go, go. So keep repeating, it's the berries. The strongest oak must fall. The sweet things in life to you are just loaned. So how can you lose what you've never owned? Life is just a bowl of cherries. So live and laugh at it all, and let's have another piece of pie. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Don't Tell Mama. My home away from home. And I mean that literally. Ever since Irv and Rob opened this club back in 1982, I have been here over the decades playing piano and or musical directing for other people's shows. But I've never done my own. So here we are. Of course, this is my first solo show, but I am not alone. I'm assisted by my old friend and great bass player, Ritt Henn. And soon my guitarist partner, Phil Mougis, will join us. Over the years, I've collected many, many wonderful songs that I've wanted to sing, but I've never gotten around to doing it in public, so here we go. Well, this is one of those songs that you hear now and then. You don't know just where, and you don't know just when. It's one of those songs that are over and then. It's one of those songs that starts playing again. This will be my shining hour, calm and happy and bright. In my dreams your face will flower through the darkness of the night, like the lights of home before me, or an angel watching o'er me. This will be my shining hour till I'm with you again. Yes, it's just one of those songs that you hear for a while, that comes into fashion, then goes out of style. It's one of those songs that you think you forgot, but it's one of those songs you cannot. I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling, I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark up above. The sun's in my heart and I'm ready for love. Let the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place. Come on with the rain, I've a smile on my face. I'll walk down the lane with a happy refrain, singing, just singing in the rain. Well, this is one of those songs that can make you recall a ride in the springtime, a walk in the fall, a day in the country, a night on the town, the sun coming up or the rain coming down, or else the evening you parted, the morning you met, the love of your life you can never forget. The reason is simple, the memory belongs to one of those wonderful songs. You and I have traveled far together. We've pursued our little star together. We are happy as we are together. We may never get to heaven, but it's heaven at least to try. You and I are going on together till the time we have is gone together. Watch the evening growing on together, growing older, growing closer, making memories to light the sky that only time can make, that only love can make, that only we can make, you and I. Well, it's one of those songs that's so easy to hear. You listen just once, you can play it by ear. It's hummed on verandas, strummed on guitars, but all you remember is la da da da. But later on, you'll recall it in some other year. You may start to smile, or you may shed a tear. You'll find that one part of your lifetime belongs to one of those wonderful songs. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? One of those wonderful songs. Thank you so much. Anyone can whistle, that's what they say, easy. Anyone can whistle any old day, easy. It's all so simple. Relax, let go, let fly. So someone tell me, why can't I can dance a tango, I can read Greek, easy. I can slay a dragon any old week, easy. What's hard is simple. What's natural comes hard. Maybe you could show me how to let go, lower my guard, learn to be free. Maybe if you whistle, whistle for me. Thank you. Well, I was born in Dallas, Texas in 1943. And as soon as my mother was able to travel, she moved us out to LA. So we would be on the West Coast when my father, who was in the Navy in the South Pacific during the war, whenever he got back to shore. And I was told that I was over a year old before he saw me for the first time. Anyway, a year or so later, we moved to San Diego, and that is actually where I have my first memory. I can remember my mother taking me and a friend out for a walk on the boardwalk. And we sat down on a bench, and it was so hot that both of us jumped up. We couldn't sit on the bench, it was so hot, and we were wearing shorts after all. Well, my mother spread out her skirt on either side, so we could sit down and be comfortable. So a couple of years after that, and my father is out of the Navy by now, we moved back to Texas, but not to Dallas. We moved to a small town on the Gulf Coast. And there I started and finished the first grade, only to find out that it was time for us to move back to California because my father had to go back into the Navy, this time to the Bay Area. And my parents decided that I would skip the second grade. Somehow, I didn't think that was a good idea. But what did I know, really? And it turned out doing the schoolwork was no problem. The problem was dealing with kids who were a year older and a year bigger than me, and having to deal with them on the playground at recess. Sometimes confusing, and other times a problem. Anyway, my father's next transfer was to Kansas. A naval base in Kansas? You're asking this? Nowadays, there are 16 naval bases in Kansas. Anyway, the school where I started was right behind the house where we were living. So when my father came home for lunch, he saw me playing softball with the girls. So when I came into the house, he would not speak to me, which really upset me. And my mother tried to soften things by explaining that my father was annoyed that I was playing softball with the girls. I said, but Mama, that wasn't, and I had no choice about that. That's where the teacher put me. She told me to play softball with the girls. That was my instruction. And anyway, so a few months later, we moved to another neighborhood in the same town. And the first day of school, I had to make a choice. Was I going to play softball mostly with the girls, although there were some boys who did play softball with the girls? Or was I going to play basketball? Basketball? What's that? I'd never even heard of it. But naturally, that's what I chose because of my father's attitude. So there I am on the basketball court, not having a clue about anything. So the first thing that happened was one of the other boys tossed this big round ball to me. What am I supposed to do with it? So I tossed it right back to him. This meant I was stuck playing a game I knew nothing about, with no way to learn to play it. You don't have a coach teaching you anything when you're in the 3rd grade. It's not that easy being green, having to spend the day the color of the leaves. But I think it could be nicer being red or yellow or gold or something much more colorful like that. It's not easy being green. It seems you blend in with so many other ordinary things, and people tend to pass you over because you're not standing out like flashy sparkles on the water or stars in the sky. But green is the color of spring, and green can be cool and friendly like, and green can be big like an ocean or important like a mountain or tall like a tree. When green is all there is to be, it could make you wonder why. But why wonder, why wonder? I am green and it'll do fine. It's beautiful, and I think it's what I want to be. So when my father was told he was going to be transferred, I didn't learn about this until years later. He had a choice of being transferred to Kansas or to Naples, Italy. And he chose Kansas over Italy. Imagine! Well, anyway, okay, so this is right before Christmas time. We haven't left the Bay Area yet. And my father decides to take me and my sister into San Francisco for one last ride on a cable car. And so we were thrilled about getting a chance to do that. We loved riding on the cable cars. And it was a great fun going up and down all the hills in the city and seeing all the houses filled with decorated Christmas trees. And we ended up at Fisherman's Wharf, where Daddy treated us to hot chocolate, which I drank, even though I don't like chocolate, or didn't like chocolate, I should say. Never liked chocolate as a kid. But I knew this was a special occasion. So, but the most memorable part of this cable car ride was the motorman on the cable car. The motorman was black. I'd never seen a black motorman on a streetcar in Dallas, you can be assured of that. Anyway, he was singing. And it was a song that I recognized because I'd heard it on the radio many times. And singing in a beautiful baritone voice. And looking back on this, I think this was probably the first time I ever heard a live performance of a pop song. See the pyramids along the Nile, watch the sunrise on a tropic isle. Just remember, darling, all the while you belong to me. See the marketplace in old Algiers, send me photographs souvenirs. Just remember when a dream appears, you belong to me. I'll be so alone without you. Maybe you'll be lonesome too and blue. Fly the ocean in a silver plane. See the jungle when it's wet with rain. Just remember till you're home again, you belong to me. Fly the ocean in a silver plane. See the jungle when it's wet with rain. But remember, darling, till you're home again, you belong to me. You belong to me. Ole ole oh, ole ole hey, ole ole oh, ole oh, ole oh, ole. Every night in my dreams, somehow it seems that I'm back where I belong. I'm just an old cowhand from the Rio Grande, back where I was born. Now the city lights and the city ways are driving me insane. I wanna be alone, I wanna be back home, back on the Texas plains. I wanna drink my Java from an old tin can while the moon comes shining high. I wanna hear the call of the whippoorwill, I wanna hear the coyotes cry. I wanna feel my saddle horse between my legs, riding him out on the range, just to kick him in the side, let him show his step and cry, back on the Texas plains. Now, my mother and father used to sing this song at parties. Oh, usually after the second or third round of drinks. Anyway, they didn't know the name of the song, who recorded it, or how they even learned it themselves. So later on, if I wanted to look up the song for myself, I had no way to find it. So my sister and I tried to remember some of the lyrics. We both remembered, I want to drink my coffee from an old tin can. But how can you find a song if you only know a little lyric from it? That used to be impossible. But one day the internet came along. It occurred to me I could search for that lyric, which I did, and it took me right to this song, The Texas Plains, recorded by Gene Autry in 1935. And I even learned that opening yodeling from listening to Gene Autry's recording. Of course, he didn't really sing about drinking his coffee from an old tin can. He sang about drinking his Java from an old tin can. I wanna hear the thunder as she booms and rolls. I at night beneath the stars above, with that old moon shining down. I wanna cook my grandma where catfish goes, 50 miles from town. Ole, ole, oh, ole, ole, hey, ole, ole, oh, ole, ole, oh, ole. Okay, back in Texas, we settled down in a new neighborhood right next to an old friend of mine whose mother invited me over for lunch one day. This was a new experience for me. I'd never been invited for lunch, ever. Anyway, after lunch, I realized why I'd been invited. My friend wanted me to go with him down to the minor league baseball, to try out for minor league baseball. Minor league baseball was where you had to play before you got into Little League in my town. Okay, I wasn't interested, but he talked me into it, so I went with him, and we were both accepted, along with every other boy who showed up that afternoon. Okay, once we started practice, I never hit the ball once. Not once in that whole summer, I swear, not once. And then when we weren't at bat, I was out of center field, so I was far enough away from home plate that I knew I'd never have anybody hit a fly out far enough that I'd have to catch it. Okay, so finally one day we're playing a game out of town, and I'm up at bat. Well, I'd never hit the ball once during practice. I knew I wasn't going to hit it now. Boy, was I mistaken. Not only did I hit it, but I got a great hit. I got all the way to third base. Really? I later learned that was a triple, hitting a triple. But of course, I'd never been on base at all in practice, so I had no idea how to get home without being tagged out. Which is what happened. I was out, yeah. Okay, anyway, around the same time, I started taking piano lessons. And my grandmother was my first teacher. And so she would give me the regular piano lesson, and then after the lesson, she would say, okay, now let's play something together. You play the melody up high, and I'll play the bass and chords. And I said, but Gami, how am I supposed to play a melody when I don't have notes to read from? And she said, because you're going to pick it out. We'll pick a song that you know the tune already, and let's try Turkey in the Straw. See if you can play that tune. Start on a high E, so it'll be in the key of C. So now just think of how the tune goes. I can do it. So I said, okay, we'll try it. So we did it, and it was so much fun. That's the way we did piano lesson every week. We'd have the regular piano lesson, and then afterwards play a duet together with me having to learn to play the melody by ear. Little did I know what an advantage this was going to be for me later in my musical experience, knowing how to play by ear. Okay, anyway, so now I'm in the 6th grade, and junior high school is coming up. If we're going to play in the band, we had to tell them ahead of time what our instrument was going to be. Well, I was going to play the trumpet, of course. I mean, that was my father's instrument. And I'd even taken some lessons on it already back in Kansas. So there I am. When we're in the junior high school, I am playing trumpet in the trumpet section. When the band director comes to me and says, Woody, would you be willing to try playing the French horn? You know, we need a French horn in the band, and we don't have anybody to play it. Okay, I'll try it. So I tried it out, and I picked it up right away. And I got to be pretty good at it pretty fast. So I just stayed on the French horn for all the rest of my school years. Also at the same time, I guess I'd gotten to be able to play the piano pretty well by that time, because the chorus teacher, the chorus director, asked me if I'd be willing to try out as the accompanist for the chorus in the 7th grade. Well, I'd like to do that, Mr. Williams, but how can I? I don't have any room in my schedule. My schedule is all full. He said, go to your PE teacher and see if he'll let you out of PE so that you can come play as the accompanist for the chorus. So I asked him, he said, Woody, you can do that. But you just have to promise me you'll come at the end of the term and take a test so that I can see that you've learned all the rules to all the games. I thought that was a pretty good trade-off. Just having to learn the rules and not having to learn how to play them. So in the long run, Texas really did a lot for me. Right in the middle of a 10-cent scenery, shuffled and stacked on a postcard rack, there's a cute little kid on a Shetland pony. He smiles at me, I can't smile back. Cactus Jack drinks coffee black, tells me it's my lucky day. 5 o'clock in the Texas morning, I've come a long, long way. 5 o'clock in the Texas morning, I've come a long, long way. Well, she left me cold on a winter's morning, cold it's been for the longest time. She said that Texas was where she was going. I've come looking, she's hard to find. Cactus Jack drinks coffee black, tells me it's my lucky day. 5 o'clock in the Texas morning, I've come a long, long way. 5 o'clock in the Texas morning, I've come a long, long way. Now I don't know just where I'm gonna find her. Maybe the soldier with the suitcase saw her. She just said she was going to Texas now for a little while. I'm looking for the girl with the light brown hair, hazel eyes. She's not too pretty, but a beautiful smile. She just said she was going to Texas for a little while. Now the cook in the back is getting mighty curious. He asks the waitress where I'm from. She just says, hell, I ain't never seen her. Probably just a California bum. Cactus Jack, he says, that's right. As I walk out into the night, 5 o'clock in the Texas morning, I've had a long, long ride. 5 o'clock in the Texas morning, I've got a long, long ride. Outside the sun is up and the wind blows me like a paper cup down the highway. The scene was a small roadside cafe. The waitress was sweeping the floor. 2 truck drivers drinking their coffee. 2 oaky kids by the door. How much are them candies? They asked her. Well, how much have you got? She replied. We've only a penny between us. Why? Them's 2 for a penny. She lied. And the daylight grew heavy with thunder, and the smell of the rain on the wind. Ain't it just like a human went outside. Them candies ain't two for a penny. So, what's it to you? She replied. In the silence they finished their coffee, got up and nodded goodbye. She called out, "Hey, you left too much money." "So what's it to you?" they replied. And the daylight grew heavy with thunder, and the smell of the rain on the wind. Ain't just like a human. Here comes that rainbow again. Comes that rainbow again. Here comes that rainbow again. Okay, went to college at the University of Texas in Austin. Where I came from, we called it the university. Anyway, in the College of Fine Arts as a music major, and pretty soon they figured out that I had some experience as an accompanist, so they offered me a stipend of, no, I've forgotten how much it was.
$10 an hour.
Oh, it was $10 an hour for 12 hours. For 12 hours a week, playing as an accompanist for people in their private lessons. So I got to accompany all of the singers, all the string players, the woodwind and brass players. I even played for the opera workshop, and I got to play for some of the local theaters doing musicals. Tons of experience as an accompanist. Anyway, one day in the opera workshop, one of the teachers said to me, "Woody, you know, I think you're about ready for New York." About ready for New York? What did he mean by that? Well, I didn't know what he meant, but it did open my mind to a possibility that I hadn't really thought of. Anyway, my father one day decided he would take me to Dallas so he could introduce me to an old friend of his who was a member of the local musicians union. And my father's friend interviewed me, asked me a few questions. He asked me if I knew a song called Tea for Two. And I said, "Yes, sir, I know that song." "Well, could you play a swing version of it?" "Yes, sir, I could do that." "Could you play a Latin version of it?" "Yes, sir, I could do that too." So he decided he would sponsor me for the musicians union. So in the meantime, I had to find a place to live in downtown Dallas. So it ended up being the YMCA, which was very convenient and comfortable. But in those days, this is the late 60s, I guess. Downtown Dallas emptied out at 5 o'clock. Nothing to do in the evenings except you could go to a movie or go out for a meal. Okay, so I had to find a job. And I got a job for a small private company that supplied light bulbs to their customers. And I got a job as a clerk typist. You remember that? Remember the clerk typist? Okay. One day, I got a phone call from a college friend who said she had a car and $100. Did I want to go to New York? Did I? I did. And the rest is history. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue sky. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Thank you. And let's hear it for Mougis. Well, this is one of those songs that's so easy to hear. You listen just once, then you play it by ear. It's hummed on verandas and strummed on guitars, and all you remember is la da da da. But later on you'll recall it in some other year. You may start to smile, or you may shed a tear. You'll find that one part of your lifetime belongs to one of those wonderful songs. Some people talk to each other while others talk to their cats. Some people talk to their mothers while others talk through their hats. Now I communicate with nature, with a leaf, a plant, a tree, and I'm always nice to a flower, for they're perfectly lovely to me. I always say hello to a flower. Hello, hello, hello. I totally ignore the crashing bore who lives next door, for her conversation's silly, yet I'd never snub a lily. I always say bonjour to a lilac. Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. I'm absolutely mute with a bully in a suit, and I never talk to fruit, heaven knows. I always say hello to a rose. Yes, I always wave at a window box if that box is filled with hollyhocks. And I speak to the daisies, you know, I think they're swell. Tell your secrets to a daisy, they'll never tell. I always say hello to a snowball. Hello there, hello, hello. Look sideways at a stranger and you put your life in danger. but one can kiss a sweet bouquet a blushing bride has tossed away. Flowers are the sweetest things I know, so when I see a flower I say hello. Hyacinth, I never shrink away from a violet. Oh no, I say hello. I may be off my rocker, but I never pet a cocker. Yet the dogwood in the park will never ever bite or bark. I'm always glad to see a gladiola. You know, I'm just mad about a glad. You can stand next to a bush, never feel one push. Flowers are refined and polite. You know, I've never seen a pansy fight. Yes, I've talked to bees and I've talked to birds, and they leave me quite at a loss for words. And I won't touch a cat while it sleeps on a pillow, but I positively trust a pussy willow. I always say hello to a flower. Hello, hello there, hello. Get friendly with a mouse and it hangs around the house. But flowers never overstay. They stay a day, then fade away. Flowers are the sweetest things I know, so when I see a flower I say hello. Thank you, thank you all. A year ago, last Thursday, I was strolling in the zoo when I met a man who thought he knew the lot. He was laying down the law about the habits of baboons and the number of quills a porcupine has got. So I asked him, "What's that creature there?" And he answered, "Why, that's an elk." I might have gone on thinking that was true, if the animal in question hadn't put that chap to shame and remarked, "I ain't an elk, I'm a gnu." I'm a gnu. The nicest work of nature in the zoo. I'm a gnu. How do you do? You really ought to know wahoo's wahoo. I'm a gnu, spelled G-N-U. I'm not a camel or a kangaroo. And let me introduce, I'm neither man nor moose. Oh, gno, I'm a gnu. Furnished lodgings down at Rustington-on-Sea, whence I travel on to Ashford-under-Lyne. At least I think that's where I went. And the second night I stayed there, I was awakened from a dream, which I'll tell you all about some other time. Among the hunting trophies on the wall above my bed, stuffed and mounted, was a face I thought I knew. A bison? An okapi. No, it wasn't an oak. Could it be a hartebeest? Then I seemed to hear a voice. I'm a gnu. I'm a gnu. Another gnu. I wish I could gnash my teeth at you. I'm a gnu. How do you do? You really ought to know wahoo's wahoo. I'm a gnu, spelled G-N-U. Call me bison or okapi, and I'll sue. Nor am I in the least like that dreadful heart beast. Oh, gano, 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 I'm a gnu. Gano, 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 I'm a gnu. No, gano, gano, I'm a gnu. Thank you all. Thank you. What a wonderful creature. Heartbroken in Hoboken, that's how I signed my name. Since my girl went and left me for an old high school flame. Now I'd even met him once or twice. Now I'm writing Ann Landers for advice, 'cause it really isn't very nice to be heartbroken in Hoboken. Heartbroken in Hoboken, miserable, lonesome, and sad. Since she left me, this town has lost what little charm it once had. Please write words to mend this heart of mine. I know I'll make a brand new start in time, but right now I feel I'll fall apart, 'cause I'm heartbroken in Hoboken. I never dreamed I'd be losing her to someone from her past. I thought we'd last forever, but she let me down. She's made a fool of me in my own hometown. Heartbroken in Hoboken, I need another chance to prove our marriage is worth more than some old high school romance. And if the paper would only print my plea, maybe she'd read it, come back home to me, and then I would no longer be heartbroken in Hoboken. Heartbroken in Hoboken. Thank you. Authors and poets in prose and in rhyme seem to agree that night is the time of lovers' meetings, romantic greetings. To my misfortune, I found this a lie, for it was night when you whispered goodbye, a night of madness that turned to sadness much too soon. Starry, starry night, paint your palette blue and gray. Look out on a summer's day with eyes that know the darkness in my soul, shadows on the hills. Catch the trees and daffodils, catch the breeze and the winter chills, and colors on the snowy linen land. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now. There was a moon out in space, but a cloud drifted over its face. You kissed me and went on your way. The night we called it a day. Starry, starry night, flaming flowers that brightly blaze, swirling clouds in violet haze, reflect in Vincent's eyes of china blue, colors changing hue. Morning fields of amber grain, weathered faces lined in pain, are soothed beneath the artist's loving hand. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now. I heard the song of the spheres, like a minor lament in my ears. I hadn't the heart left to pray. The night we called it a day. For they could not love you, but still your love was true. And when no hope was left in sight, on that starry, starry night, you took your life as lovers often do. But I could have told you, Vincent, that this world was never meant for one as beautiful as you. Soft through the dark, the hoot of an owl in the sky, sad though his song, no bluer was he than I. Starry, starry night, portraits hung in empty halls, frameless heads on nameless walls, with eyes that watch the world and can't forget, like the strangers that you've met. The ragged men in ragged clothes, the silver thorn of bloody rose, lie crushed and broken on the virgin snow. Now I understand what you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they're not listening still. Perhaps they never will. The moon went down, stars were gone, but the sun didn't rise with the dawn. There wasn't a thing left to say. The night we called it a day. The night we called it a day. used to visit all the very gay places, those come what may places, where one relaxes on the axis of the wheel of life to get the feel of life from jazz and cocktails. The girls I knew had sad and sullen gray faces with distingué traces that used to be there. You could see where they'd been washed away by too many through the day. 12 o'clock tales. Then you came along with your siren song to tempt me to madness. I thought for a while that your poignant smile was tinged with the sadness of a great love for me. Ah, yes, I was wrong. Again, I was wrong. Life is lonely again, and only last year everything seemed so sure. Now life is awful again, a trough full of hearts could only be a bore. A week in Paris will ease the bite of it. All I care is to smile in spite of it. I'll forget you, I will, while yet you are still burning inside my brain. Romance is mush, stifling those who strive. I'll live a lush life in some small dive, and there I'll be while I rot with the rest of those whose lives are lonely. The prime of my life, I find I have the time of my life, learning to enjoy at my leisure all the simple pleasures, and so I happily concede. This is all I ask. This is all I need. Beautiful girls, walk a little slower when you walk by me. Lingering sunsets, stay a little longer with the lonely sea. Children everywhere, when you shoot at bad men, shoot at me. Take me to that strange enchanted land. Grown-ups seldom understand wandering rainbows. Leave a bit of color for my heart to own. Stars in the sky, make my wish come true before the night has flown, and let the music play as long as there's a song to sing. And I will stay younger than spring. Wandering rainbows, leave a bit of color for my heart to own. Stars in the sky, make my wish come true before the night has flown, and let the music play as long as there's a song to sing. I will stay younger than spring. I will stay younger than spring.
Ladies and gentlemen, Woody Regan.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you to Sydney Meyer and the staff at Downtown Mama. And to Randy, please be kind. And to Allison Nussbaum and Kelly on Lights and Sound, thank you so much. And to my special guest, Phil Mougis. And a great big thank you to the wonderful Ritt, Henn. And also to my wonderful director, Tanya Moberly. And to all of you, thank you so much for coming. And I'd like to leave you with this. Every time we say goodbye, I die a little. Every time we say goodbye, I wonder why a little. Why the gods above me, who must be in the know, think so little of me, they allow you to go. When you're near, there's such an air of spring about it. I can hear a lark somewhere begin to sing about it. There's no love song finer, but how strange the change from major to minor. Every time we say goodbye, every single time we say goodbye. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just as you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. So will you please say hello to the folks that I know? Tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was